All right, so please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
visible
with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Evening, folks, and welcome to the Town of Rutland Select Board meeting. This is Tuesday, June 22nd, and this is 6 o'clock. This is our open meeting. We started with the pledge. A reminder to select board members, the orders are here to be signed. I've looked them through and signed. Don is sitting on Don's desk, and I suspect he will before he leaves. So please do get in, review, and sign. Okay, we have two sets of minutes. One is for June 8th and the other is June 15th. And I'll entertain a motion.
I would make a motion, Madam Chair, that we approve the minutes of June 8th special meeting as written.
Motion's been made. Sharon, did you hear the motion?
I did, but I wasn't there, so I can't second it.
What was that?
I don't
show
think-
who's there.
Okay.
Who's there? On Zoom.
Or can I, Mary?
Okay, so we're going to have to pass on that because we don't have enough
Those are the
folks.
people.
So could anyone who is on and not
It could be.
muted, could you please mute? That
Sure.
would be Jane, AKA Nana. Thank you.
Okay, yep, sorry.
Not a problem. Thank you. Okay, we're going to hold on these till next meeting. That would be the minutes of the June 8th. So June 15th, that was the special select board meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Motion's made. Don?
Second,
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all in favor of approving those minutes, please say aye.
aye.
Aye. No nays, so the motion carries. Sure. All right, this is the point of the meeting where we take questions from the floor or public comment. If there is any member of the public here to address something that is not on tonight's agenda, we welcome their input. So we don't, okay. Anyone who wishes to be heard on anything other than items on the agenda? JP, is that you? Uh, 4296. Phone number 775-4296.
Hello, I'm here. Hello?
Hi, is this Joe?
No, this is Howard.
Oh, hi, Howard. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so if there's nothing from the public, we will move on to our agenda items. For the folks who mentioned it earlier, we do have an item about the public fireworks display and checklist. So we'll get to that later in the meeting for your information. Okay. Our town administrator is on a well-deserved vacation, so Bill Sweet is not here this evening. We're struggling along as best we can, but he left very careful instructions, so we might just make it through. Mike Rowe, Town Rec Director.
Good evening, all. Not much to report. The pool is up and running. We have our first week of lessons that started. We reduced our groups so that we would just be a little extra cautious. Everything is going very smoothly. Baseball was very successful over the years. Our minors, which is our grades 3 and 4, did really well throughout the year, and so did our majors, which is 5 and 6. They made it into the playoffs, so congratulations to them. They did a wonderful job. Other than that, we're kind of moving along. I just would like to remind people that if they have comments or concerns, good, bad, whatever it may be, that I would ask them that they would please reach out to me. My phone number is plastered everywhere. So please give me a call, stop by the pool, whatever works for you, and we will make sure we can fix things or add things or do whatever we can humanly possibly do within our means. So please just reach out to me and let me know if you have any comments or concerns or suggestions, please. Other than that, my only other question I had for you was the 4th of July fireworks. We did table that as to how you want to run that this year. Last year, we kept them in the car and allowed, only so many cars that we can park there with viewing spots. So it's whatever your pleasure would be. How would you like me to run that? In years past, just so you know, the pool will be open from 12 to 6. And then we will open the concession stand at about 8. So that if people want to swing down and get ice cream or popcorn or something, they can do that. Fireworks usually go off depending on the day, what the weather is that day. They go off between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. If it's a very sunny day, it's more towards 9:45. So they go off at dusk. So that people that are asking. So what would you like me to do on that day as far as people?
Question.
Yeah.
Because I've forgotten since we did those back at the school. What was the procedure prior to COVID?
So basically people come up to the pool, we park them all different places in the park, and then they walk down, and most people sit on the hill right by the tennis courts because they come right up over the pool. So the hill is usually loaded with people, or people will, wherever, if they're parking behind the tennis courts, those are usually the ones that come later. That's our later parking. They'll sit or stand in their car or gather right in that area. The Lions Club used to come up and pop their tent and sell popcorn and hot dogs and all kinds of cool stuff. They don't do that anymore. So we have taken over that as far as like a concession part for us. In years past, we have allowed people to swim during fireworks. We are not doing that this year.
Okay.
So there will be no swimming during fireworks. It was a great success, but I'm not there yet for that.
Do you have any preference one way or another? What the board has to decide? We'll decide this tonight, I would imagine, Mary.
We don't meet
we
again.
have to
You
because we're
have
running
to.
out of
What
time.
do you?
That's
have
up to you. I'm
Well, see,
prepared to go either
we
way.
lifted our town's restrictions. We rescinded the
Right.
town's restrictions last meeting, so it's the governor's guidelines that prevail.
And
to-
since the governor is
Yeah,
pretty much taken all executive orders away, I would say that we're into pre-COVID conditions, and I would say we would just, unless you have an objection, I don't know.
I
if
don't. No,
Okay.
that's
I
up
don't
to
know if Sharon
what you'd
does
like
or
me to
John
do.
Paul does, but I would say we would go with what we did before. I mean, just a regular fireworks, let the people sit on the hill and enjoy it and whatever.
Sharon, you okay with that?
I am. I'm not okay with us cooking and stuff up there. I don't think we're ready for that. I think
Well,
Mike
Sharon-
can handle. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, I interrupted you. I apologize. Finish your thought, please.
No, go ahead.
When I say cooking, we usually just do popcorn and then whatever we have for individual
Right.
sale, like
Right.
ice cream, stuff
Right.
like that. Okay.
Right, and that I'm fine with.
Okay.
I would really stock up on that stuff.
We do. Believe me, we do.
There
We
may
do.
be
We do a nice
pent-up
little job there.
demand.
Now that they can get out, we will. Yes,
Okay.
we'll do okay.
So it sounds like it's back to pre-COVID.
So I just need to touch base with Ed because then we will put the signs up along Post Road because there'll be no parking on
Right.
Post Road. I think we were a little lenient last year with that. I'm trying to remember if we allowed them to park on one side. I don't know. Ed's not here, so I
He's
don't
around.
remember.
Okay.
But I will touch base with Ed and get that all figured out.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Thank
all
you.
I got.
Any questions from Sharon or Don on other items for Mike Rowe?
No, just, do you have any objection to giving your phone number out on that message that you had at the beginning of the meeting? So.
Oh, my phone number it's the rec phone number. The town pays for it. It's 779-2518 is the rec phone number.
Okay.
Please call anytime. Well, not anytime. Let me rephrase that.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
within reason.
Within
Okay,
reason.
thank you, Mike.
Yep.
Kari Clerk, Town Clerk and Treasurer. Yes, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, Carrie.
Thank you
Hi.
very much for getting us all set up here.
No problem. My pleasure. So we're coming to the very tail end of our fiscal year. We just did our payroll and accounts payable, our last one of the year. So I was able to quickly, and I mean quickly, put together the excess report for the year to see what our budgets look like in the end. I will have the finalized paper to you, Mary, tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I just want a second pair of eyes on it after I punched in all the numbers. Right now, it looks like we are in excess of quite a bit of money. And that looks like at quick glance that we did our best, but we over budgeted slightly this year
Yeah.
and underspent. And there were some areas that we received a lot more revenue in than anticipated.
Town clerk's fees, for example.
That is one of
Yeah.
them. The recording fees was part of that. Delinquent taxes was a significant
Yes.
part of that.
Yeah.
We budgeted for 50,000 and we got like 200 and something thousand. And our 1% local options, we received way more than we budgeted for. And we base our tax rate for the taxpayers on what we anticipate in our budget for the next year. So we're seeing quite a large number in there. I don't want to report what I'm seeing yet until it's final. But that again, according to the voters, will go into the capital improvements fund. So I just wanted to report that will be on your
Good
desk
news.
tomorrow morning with the actual figures.
Okay.
Quick update. We're trying to, before more elections come into play, we're taking vacations when we can, because we won't be able to. So last week, my assistant was out. This week, Bill is out, and next week I will be out. Susan will be in the office next week. Do want to remind everyone that July 4th falls on a Sunday, so the office will be closed that following Monday on the 5th. And that is all I have.
All right. Questions of Kari Clerk.
So you're saying, Carrie, that through some fortunate circumstances and some very prudent planning on the part of the select board, that we are in a very good financial position.
I would agree with you.
Well, we'll pat ourselves on the back, Don, but actually the windfall and the collected delinquent taxes is a biggie. And of course, the recording fees came about because so many people were buying property, but it's okay. We can and the 1% sales tax was way up. Rooms and meals was down, but so we're in good shape. So,
and there's some parts of each budget, each department, that I think for one reason or the other, certain things were budgeted for and it didn't happen for whatever reason.
Right.
So there's some excess money from those cases.
Okay, very good. Any other questions or comments? Byron?
Do you have to count back? Have we had 26 pay periods since we started last year?
Yeah, yes, we have. We counted.
Okay, so this is the 26th. that's
This
sitting
is,
there.
so
Okay.
you got paid. So the salary people got paid.
Okay, very good. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Come
Carrie.
anytime with good news. We like to hear that.
All right.
Okay. Barbara Noyes-Pulling, Planning Commission, Chair.
Good to be back.
Yes, welcome.
Yes.
Hey, Barb.
Hi. So I don't have a whole lot tonight. I'd like to put several things on hold. The helipad ordinance, because we are way out ahead of everyone else on that. So we're going it alone on that. We're still working on the Conservation Commission as well, that work. So I believe you have a copy of a letter that could be sent jointly from both the Select Board and the Planning Commission to Velco. And this would be in support of what they call the North Rutland substation upgrades.
Yes, you sent it around and I think it's not in our packet, Don, but
Oh.
I did forward it on to all of the select board members, I believe.
On the mail, on the email.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it basically says, we've received the 45-day notice.
Mhm.
They've been before both groups, the Planning Commission a number of times because we had to
Right.
approve a subdivision for this project. So and so they're going for their full-on Section 248 application
Mhm.
in early July. So they're looking, they asked for a letter from the town Planning Commission. I thought maybe the Select Board would like to join in
Right.
and get that off to them by the first of the month, if possible.
So you did circulate it and the Planning Commission meets Thursday.
Yeah, that'd
And
be
you'll be finalizing it then, or?
hopefully.
Okay, all right. If the select board is ready to sign on the letter, I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Don moved to, and I think, was it all of the select board members to sign?
Just you.
Okay, so that if you could amend that to have the chair sign on behalf of the board, Don?
That's fine.
Okay, Sharon, did you second?
Yes.
Okay, motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, so I don't know how,
Need a copy?
if you have something to sign now, yeah. And I'll leave it here after I'll take a look at it. Thank you. Well, actually, I can just sign it. Okay, there you go. Thank you.
Okay.
Anything else from Barbara? Now, let's see, it looks like the Pocket Park Survey Project was down on our agenda, but that's MSK Engineering, who's going to be doing the surveying of the site, can't join us, so we're going to put them off until our next meeting, just so if you came for that.
Yeah, they're still very interested in the project and they'll come with an agreement that can be signed.
Good, okay. It would be good if they could get the agreement to us in advance and then we can look it over, because, two lawyers on the select board.
Oh, let's not get into that again.
Right. Okay. All right. If there's nothing else, thank you very much. Appreciate your help.
If there were three, that would be real trouble.
It would be really bad. Byron Hathaway, Town Road Commissioner.
Don't have a whole lot for you this evening, other than to ask you to take up the proposal that was in your packet. I did receive an email today from the state bid guy that we go through, and we still do not have a build date yet for our new truck. So so over the last few weeks, I've been scouting around, and there is a chassis and at Ford in Claremont, New Hampshire, that meets all our specifications. And I costed that out to you, what the price is and so forth, and compared the two with what the state bid price was on the 550. As you can see, that the chassis is an F600, not a 550, which is it's a 22,000 pound DVW truck instead of a 19.5. The trucks are, if they're sitting side by side out there, you can tell the difference. They're both the same cab. They're both the same axle. The tire size is a little bigger and you get another leaf in the rear spring. So I thought it was a reasonable request. to be able to make sure that we have a good upgraded piece of equipment for this coming winter. If we wait until Ford decides to, give us a build date, get the truck built, get it delivered, whether we can get that to the upfitter quick enough to get it built for this fall. I don't know. I mean, nobody knows. And we're not the only town that's sitting and waiting. I did call the upfitter and asked him about what he thought. And he said, there's just a whole bunch of towns out there in the same boat and they're all sitting and waiting.
Mhm.
My fear is that all of a sudden there's going to be a bunch of 550s that come online and everybody's going to be up there at the upfitter trying to get their truck built, and somebody's going to be a winner and somebody's going to be a loser.
Okay, this is item E in your packet.
Yeah.
Byron did a side-by-side comparison. I take it this didn't go before the highway committee, so Joe
No.
hasn't weighed in on it.
No, I got these numbers together last week and I just decided to write it out and get it into your packet so all the select board members could see it. I did check with multiple dealers. They're the only ones that had something on
Yeah.
the lot.
So go ahead, Don.
So the only two differences are the GVW really,
Right.
which is pretty much a leaf spring and tires,
Right.
and the year difference. That doesn't affect the warranty in any way, does it?
No, we ordered a 2021 back in March. By the time that order went into Ford upgraded it at the same price to a 2022. And they haven't started making the 2022s yet, or they haven't given us a build date anyways for at least our truck. I don't know where you don't have a build date either on yours.
Cruiser?
Yeah.
So is there any penalty if we withdraw from, the order that we put in?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, well, that would be my concern, to make sure that we're okay and we're not gonna be,
I mean, I emailed Chuck Williams and got an email back from him today, which was refreshing because he usually doesn't get right back to you. But he did say he went online and checked, and I explained to him that we were looking at a truck on a lot, and was there a build date yet? And he said, no, there's no build date yet. He just checked as of today, and he didn't mention any penalties or problems with canceling the order.
all right, well, why don't I entertain a motion if the board is interested in pursuing this?
I'm
Yeah,
still a little unsure.
Yeah.
The replacement, or not replacement, but the new option 21
Yeah.
is already built, so we don't need to have a build date.
No, that's sitting on the lot in Claremont.
Mm.
Right. It's all finished. You go over, take a check and leave it with Claremont, and you're going to drive a truck home.
Yeah, I think that's worth the, I'd make a motion that, well, go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah, I was going to make the motion, but go ahead, Don. I'll
No,
second
go
it.
ahead. You're on the committee. I'm not on the committee.
All right, I make the motion that we give by the okay to do the one that's on the lot, the Ford F600. Because Lord knows how long we'll wait for that other one. I mean, with everybody else waiting for everything, I think if you got one on a lot that, you're going to need it for winter, it seems like a long way away, but that can go by pretty quick. So that's my motion.
okay,
JP or John on?
no,
I'll second the motion.
motion seconded. I would suggest that we add to the motion that we do this so long as there's no penalty for withdrawing from the contract for the one we've ordered.
I will check on that first, Mary, and then be in touch with you before
Okay.
I give the okay to Claremont.
Are Sharon and Don, are you okay with that amendment?
Oh, yeah, fine.
Okay, Sharon?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor of purchasing the Ford F600 2021 on the lot, please say aye.
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 Aye. Okay.
grab it by.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
we'll check
If
on
it's
the
still
other
there.
first.
Yeah. Okay, now I emailed around to you. I got at like 3:30 this afternoon an email from the Grants and Aid program manager from VTrans, reminding us that if we wanted to participate in the Grants and Aid program, we had to so indicate with a letter of intent, which form is provided, by June 25th. That happens to be Friday. So I spoke to Byron, and is this something we should apply for? This is $11,000.
Yeah, that's just it's not a commitment. It's just saying that you're going to participate. If you don't participate, they take the money and give it, divide it up and give it amongst other towns that are deciding to participate. So the money is good until, once you're approved, is good until 2022, which is next September, a little over a year and a half from now. That'll give me time this fall to update the road erosion inventory. And that's where the grants and aid is usually used, is for any problems identified through that inventory. And then you use that money to fix those problems.
Okay. Barbara.
I was just gonna say the money might be more than that 11,000.
Yeah.
Because VTrans didn't give towns very much time to get
Right.
these letters in.
Right.
And so fewer towns may not actually get the paperwork in. So the roads go down.
Okay. I think
Yeah.
it's 30,000, or excuse me, 11,000, but I
Yeah,
could be
That's what's
wrong.
being offered.
2,700 our cost.
Okay.
2,700.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what's currently being offered.
Okay, very good.
But
I'd
like
make a
Barbara
motion.
explained, if there's other towns that don't sign up, then their monies are reallocated and you
Yes.
could actually end up
So it
with
could be more.
12 or 13,
Okay.
Yeah.
And it looks like there's one signature required for the town. So Don, you have a motion?
I'd make a motion that we send the letter and authorize the chair to send the letter participating in this program.
Okay. Sharon, second? Sharon is seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. So I'm signing it. I'll take it home with me and I will, unless you want to do it. You want to scan this up to them?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that program was taken, it used to be administered through the RPC, but now it's been taken over by VTrans, right? Huh?
It's a hybrid now.
Yeah,
Better words.
There you go. Thank you. Would you make sure Bill has a copy of that? So,
sure. I'll
That's- you
make
don't
sure
trust me
he
with
gets, I'll
originals
make
and
sure he gets the
everything.
email.
okay. Anything else?
Paving has begun. McKinley Avenue has been reclaimed and some of the base asphalt's been applied. Probably the rest of the base will go on tomorrow. We're starting the school project tomorrow. That probably will get finished up next week. And we're moving forward with that. The only thing that we're behind on, and I will admit that we're about 3 weeks behind on that, and that's roadside mowing. And that's because we're waiting for a couple of special fiber bushings that go in the dipper stick on the boom.
Okay.
And I thought I had them ordered, and when I checked up on it, the guy said, "Oh, we kind of forgot to order them." So anyways, I've been assured they will be delivered UPS tomorrow morning. So
Okay.
hopefully we'll get that tractor up and running, and
Because I'm holding off mowing down on the farm until
be-
you guys do your part.
we'll be tackling all of the main roads first and then
Okay.
go back through and do subdivisions later.
Transfer station done?
Transfer station asphalt is done. The cleanup isn't done. We still got topsoil work to do and that sort of thing.
Sharon, any questions of our road commissioner?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Byron, very much.
Okay.
Chris Clark, Town Fire Chief. Good evening, Chief.
Hi, Chris.
Don't really have much to report tonight. It's been kind of slow the last couple weeks.
Good.
Our new truck has been started to be built. The cab, I think the picture's been on the internet.
Yep.
So they built the cab so far. So hopefully we'll have that in 5 or 6 months.
Okay, who knew everything was going to take so long with all of the vehicles?
Nobody.
Well, when you got trucks sitting on lots that they can't sell because they don't have chips in them, I guess nothing surprises you anymore.
No,
No calls back up to Killington? That's all
nope,
taken care of?
that's all
Good.
taken care of.
All right, good. All right, so people are being nice and safe and we like it that way.
We do. So,
Sharon, any questions of our fire chief?
Nope. Nope.
Don, all set?
No, you all set with fireworks and everything?
Oh, thank you. While you're sitting there. Item D in the select board packet. And Jane, AKA Nana, you might want to hear this part. Okay, so we met last Tuesday. We issued an amended permit to CNC Fireworks, which essentially conformed with what the Supreme Court decision said. So they are licensed to sell only to people who have a permit for a public display, an authorized public display, which is a limited group of people. That would be like a municipality like ours who plans on setting off fireworks. And the other part of that is on the municipal side. And what we have before us is a checklist for a municipal fireworks public display. And that when filled in, gives information about the fire department, which is going to provide coverage, the responsible person, where the property is, any permits that are needed, the display area and discharge area, provisions for emergency services and cleanup. And then attached to that is also the public display permit, which has to be applied at least 15 days in advance of the date of the event. So these two now are what the town would issue. And the second permit requires the signature of the fire chief and the police chief. So it's no longer simply a matter of going and buying fireworks and setting them off. You have to go through a permitting system, and it is a more comprehensive system because it's only for authorized public displays. So thanks for, I think you probably worked with Bill to pull together these two permit application forms. So thank you for that. Don and Sharon, any questions on the forms?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Okay. And right. We did notice when Bill was drafting it that there was no place for the applicant to sign on the original form. So now there is. And so the applicant must sign it. So that's what we have. I'll entertain a motion to adopt the checklist and the display permit form as drafted.
So moved.
So
Motion's made and seconded. Any further discussion? Jane? You have to unmute yourself, but is this where you wanted to comment?
Yes, I wonder if you could tell me what, you say authorized public displays. What about, like people say in the neighborhood that want to buy the fireworks and set them off themselves?
That is not authorized at this time under the Supreme Court ruling, the Vermont Supreme Court ruling, unless those people went and got, met all of the requirements for an authorized public display. And that's the permitting forms we were talking about.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds really good to me. It's the common people, just, common occurrence that concerns me with the fireworks for the people with PTSD and pets. We have a pet that really has an issue with it. So it sounds like, listening to you, that this should really help alleviate that.
Well,
Okay.
it should, but the problem
but
is,
people don't always follow the law. In Rutland town, we don't allow fireworks other than than up at Northwood Park. But, you know, that doesn't stop. I heard fireworks the other night. I mean, you know,
Me too.
we're doing the best we can. I just don't, there's no guarantee you can stop it.
Right.
Is it Jane? Jane?
Yes, yes.
We think we're trying our best to respond to the citizens in our town. And that's all we can do. I mean,
Right.
within the law, the way it's written. The unfortunate part of this is that the whole thing has been muddied by the state, not writing it very specifically, and then the Supreme Court muddying it up a little bit more. And
I agree.
Obviously, it's got to be solved by the legislature, not by us. So we can only control what is in our town. We can't control what's in Pittsford or Proctor or anywhere else. And we certainly can't control what Florida's doing or what people are buying in North Carolina or South Carolina or anyplace else. So it's tough.
Right.
It really
It
is.
is.
And,
Yeah.
and we can't legislate common sense and courtesy, which people should have to their neighbors, pets, and veterans and other people. So
Right.
it's just tough trying to legislate.
Yeah, it seems like certainly, I know they're not allowed in the city either, but boy, they do have a problem. What how do you guys monitor the store on Woodstock Avenue to be sure they are getting that message out? How do you have a means to, you know, be assured that they're following what you guys want them to do?
Well, let me say that before the Supreme Court ruling, CNC Fireworks were very good about making sure people understood they needed, at that time, a town permit. So, and we knew who they were because, of course, the permit had been issued by our fire department. So we could post on our website where the fireworks were going to be let off. So people like you could be prepared.
Yes.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, that's so I will say CNC was self-monitoring and we were satisfied with what they were doing. This is now a much smaller group of people who would be purchasing. And are we
Right.
going to post somebody up there to monitor that? No, we're not. But
Right.
these folks have had a good track record with us.
Okay, so I guess that's it. The only thing I wondered, well, it sounds like Rutland Town isn't going to be giving very many permits out then for fireworks. Is that true?
Well, they have to meet this
All
public
those.
display criteria, which is very much more rigorous than just going out in your backyard and setting off fireworks. Yeah.
Okay, all right, great.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling in, for zooming in, whichever. Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right, the motion's been made to adopt the checklist and the display permit for a public display for fireworks. Motion's made and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? No one. I'm an aye. I'm in favor, so that passes. Okay, anything else from our town fire chief?
No, I was just
I'm all
wondering
set.
whether you're all set for our public display.
We are.
Okay,
Okay.
All
good.
set.
Good.
Very good. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks.
Ed Dumas, town police chief.
I don't have a lot tonight. Calls for service from 6:04 to 6:17. We have 52 calls, one arrest, 29 calls were on the south end of town, and 3 of them were traffic stops of the 52. I missed the last Zoom on last Friday involving the south end of town. They've decided to postpone the next meeting until not this Friday, but the next Friday, which will be the day after they stop housing people at the Holiday Inn and I guess across Vermont. So, and we'll see how that goes from there.
Okay.
There has been outcry by the chiefs of police that why are we giving these people all this money when they leave? I'm not sure what we've got back from them yet at this point in time.
Yeah.
That's about all I have for tonight.
Okay, thank you for monitoring that.
Yes.
That was helpful, and I think we did get some results from it.
We did.
Sounds like the numbers are spiking again.
Yes.
Yeah, at the south end of town. So we'll see what happens in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
All right. Now, there was an article in today's paper about the pedestrian who was struck by a motor vehicle on South Main Street. You looked into it for us. Could you tell us do we have a safety concern down there, or are we?
The report's not complete. We didn't investigate it. The state police investigated it, but
Right.
just looking at it, it looks like the person involved just ran out into traffic. So not in a crosswalk.
Okay.
I can't be 100% sure on that at this point in time, but on a little bit I read, that's what it appears to be.
Okay. I did want to follow up on that. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Sharon or Don, any questions of our chief of police?
Nope.
I don't have any questions, but I would like to comment on the article that was in the paper about our previous employee, because I think it's indicative of the quality of this department, that she was so ably trained and she was able to potentially fill the position that you had, which we all acknowledge was a valuable position for kids in this community. You know, we're happy to have you as a full-time officer and a chief, but it was a big loss for CFAC not to have you there. And I think it's a matter of a matter of pride to this community that a former officer of ours is going to accede to that position. And
Thank you.
I thank you for
That officer is a
helping her
very good
along
officer.
through
And
that.
I'd like to thank Dave Fox with the sheriff's department for deciding to pick her up and continue on with that, the process that they're going through at CFAC. And I think the officer will give him, she's a very good officer. She'll do very well in that position. And hopefully the sheriffs can train the next person to do it, to continue this on, because I truly believe those types of crimes not only affect the children then and there at that point in time, but it affects them 30 years down the road, and they're going to have children, and that is going to affect our community as a whole in the future. If we can take somebody that's a victim and make them a survivor, they can help prevent this from happening to other people, and they can come forward and be a productive member of society and not have sometimes a lot of issues that come along with being a victim of sexual assault. So thank you for that very much.
Well
Also, I'd like to
said,
thank
Don
the-
and Ed.
What's that?
I said, well said, both of you. Thanks.
And the other thing is, I think the fire department had an injury accident with a motorcycle last week. And as always, the Rutland Fire Department came and took care of all the traffic, got the car off the motorcycle. Things were just fast. But thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. That's all I have.
Appreciate it. Any further questions or comments of our town police chief? If not, I think we're all set. Thank you, chief.
Oh, I did have one.
Okay.
Related to the fireworks display, the question that came up with Mike was maybe whether or not we would be allowing parking on one side or whatever, because we're going back to pre-COVID fireworks
Right.
conditions. What's your thought on that? I mean, because you'll be up there, I'm sure, and
We usually like no parking on the side of the road because it just causes problem. And you get one, then want to go on the other side, then it's a problem with the fire department to get in and out. So we try to limit no parking on Post Road anywhere.
good. Well,
Within
I
reason.
wanted to make that, have you make that as a public statement so
Well,
people know.
Mike Rose real good about putting out signs that day, no parking this side of the street. We don't want people parking on people's lawns and that stuff there. In the past, Mike's marked it very well. And it's been pretty seamless. One time we had a hard time because the city and the town had fireworks at different times. So people went to two fireworks, ours and the city. So we were really quite busy, but I got information that the city is going to hold their fireworks at at the same time that night. So it should be not too bad, hopefully.
Okay, thanks, Ed.
Okay. Thanks, Chief. All right, Jean Paul Fagnan, Town Health Officer, is not here this evening. Committee meeting updates. If you look at Schedule A, there's listed all of the items that our committees need to take up. Let's see, it looks like a water sewer committee meeting is needed, so we'll have Bill send out a doodle poll when he comes back in. And I'm supposed to ask Chief Clerk, are we ready yet for the McKinley Avenue Station Committee meeting? Because, okay, so does July 6th at 5 p.m. look okay? Okay.
Ooh,
It's what Bill told me to ask. So there it
it's
is.
on my, that's my, you want to have it at the hospital when I'm having my hip replaced?
Oh, okay. Well,
You know, even 1 or 2 days later, I could join by,
let's see if
now
we
that
can
I- now
slide
that I
it a
have
week.
vi- Now that I have violated
Mary,
my
is it
HIPAA
entire
rules.
board? Mary,
Pardon?
is it the entire board?
Yes,
I don't know if you decided. Is it in fact the entire board or what?
yes, it is. And it's
Okay.
the police chief and deputy, and it's the fire chief and the 2 assistants.
And that's,
Okay.
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And
Ignore the
Rick, second-
date. I'll have Bill slide it a week. Or something. Okay, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Next on the agenda is, well, we won't do the projects list. We're making some progress on all of them. We'll leave it at that. Is anyone on our call from the mall, the Diamond Run Mall? Does anyone from the mall wish to speak? We did invite Joe Anthony to come in and give us an update on what's going on. When he visited with us last time, it was about 3 months ago, and he said something would be happening within 90 days, so we're checking in. So if there's no Joe Anthony on the call, and I'm not seeing that there is, we'll move along.
I could add something to what's going on there right now.
Yeah, Chief.
People are breaking in there, they're smashed the inside out, we're shutting doors every day, we're getting complaints down there. The inside of the place is trash, usually there's a skateboard park. I've called multiple times and messaged to secure the door, they've secured the front door, but they pried open the back door, and that's how we get it at this point.
Okay.
So we're done looking on the inside of the mall at this point, unless some life threatening problem.
Okay, so we'll see if we can get, when Bill is back at our next meeting, see if we can get Mr. Anthony in to talk about those things, because that's obviously not, that can't continue. All right, next item under new business. Board to discuss the purchase of air purifiers for town hall. Bill's not here with his information. Joe's not here. Don's on the property or the building committee, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to take that up or push it to the next meeting?
Well, we've been pushing it and pushing it.
I know.
I don't, I would think, well, it's just my personal opinion that we waited 2 meetings so that we could get information to all board members to be brought up to date on it, because I guess JP wanted to see, he didn't have the specs or whatever on the equipment.
Mhm.
And I'm assuming that he got it because Bill had that stuff. I just think we need to go ahead and do this. I mean, I go into my doctor's office or my dentist's office and there are purifiers and there's air purifiers in there that take care of germs and they take care of viruses and they clean the air. And since we're open for business, I think for the small amount of money that's involved, it would be prudent if we consummated this contract and got the purifiers in here. I simply asked that we add one to the list because we had one for this office and one for the clerk's office. And we didn't have one for the hallway, which is that's the public throughway. And they're pretty simple. They're a 110 operation. So you simply just plug them in and they do their thing.
My suggestion would be, because at this point, I would vote no. But we have some of the money coming in probably within the next month or so from the ARPA funds, and this is right down the alley of ARPA. So I suggest we table this. I know it's delaying it again, but table it to the next meeting. So then we've got JP, then we've got Joe, who worked with you on this matter.
I thought we
So-
were paying for it with ARPA funds. I mean, that was my intention. So.
Well, we haven't got the ARPA funds in yet, but
No,
Yeah.
we were supposed to have them by the end of June,
I
the first
know.
batch,
I know,
but then there again,
I
that's
know.
the state.
Carrie's been working on it for us.
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
That's a
so
pru-
we'll,
That's a prudent suggestion, I guess.
next meeting, okay. Board to review the contract for the Dufresne Group on the Route 7 North scoping study. This is B in your packet. This is shall not exceed $35,000. This is for Dufresne it used to be Dufresne Group and Consulting Engineers. This is JP's sidewalk. Okay. And if you are ready to vote on that, it's in your packet as B. I'll entertain a motion to approve and authorize me to sign on behalf of the board.
So moved.
Motion's made.
Well, it's it's reluctantly, but I will second the motion.
Okay. And we can table this one too if you want, although I'm not sure how long their bid was good for.
Well, I believe the board majority is in favor of it. I don't happen to be, but I don't want to stand in the way of it.
Okay.
I just think it's a waste of money. That's all.
Thank you, Don. So motion's made and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Aye. None opposed, so motion carries. And am I authorized to sign on behalf of the board?
And you are authorized to sign on
Yes.
behalf of the board.
Thank you. Okay. All right, next is the sewer discharge allocation request. And this is item C in your packet. Bill, this is for 15 gallons because this is for Ranberry Associates. They were slightly over. No, actually, no. They're going to be connected to a storage facility that has one bathroom. And this will increase the flow slightly. And it's, so they're requesting an additional 15 gallons allocation.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the allocation. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, aye. So motion carries. I took care of that one. All right. So the public fireworks display checklist is done under new business. The 4th of July fireworks plans done under new business. MSK engineering is for our next meeting. Select board meeting minutes. And I think this item was put on at the request of JP. And I think Bill should be here when we talk about the meeting minutes. So I would request that we delay this till the next meeting, if that's okay with folks.
Yep.
Fine by me, because
Okay.
it's probably about me anyway.
All right. And any other new business to be considered? We've got folks on the call. Anybody who hasn't weighed in on anything, if you have public comment or wish to be heard on anything not on our agenda, this would be a good time. It's very quiet out there. All right, in our packet, let's see, I think we've taken care of everything that we had in there. A couple of things that I have very briefly. Thank you to Mike Rowe and to Jim Hall, Rutland Town Seniors, for the very nice luncheon up at Sugar and Spice at noontime. It was, how many people did you?
22.
20. Well, I think Mike had counted 28. So we
Wow.
had an excellent turnout, Rutland Town Seniors. This was paid for by, I think, the town seniors, because we have over the years funded them and they had a little balance in their checkbook. And Jim Hall pulled it all together. So a big thank you to him. We are planning on another senior gathering, this time with Byron Hathaway as chef and Mike Rowe as host, along with the lifeguards. We'll be up at Northwood Pool, and that'll be in July. So check for announcements on that one. It's always a fun time. And I think the lifeguards do some of the prep for the salads and things. It's all very nice, and cookies and brownies and so on. Okay. There is on Thursday at 5:15, anyone interested, there is a report on housing needs study, which has been completed by Cedar. Now, it used to be the Chamber of Commerce. They combined with Reddick. If you're interested and you want the link, email me. I got invited. I think we all got little postcards in the mail about that too. But I'm curious to know what the housing needs are in this area. And of course, we have a housing project that's being proposed at the south end of town. So it would be good information for us to have. Listening sessions, we have ARPA funds coming to the town. And we don't have them yet, but Kari's been working on getting the federal portal set up and going to be getting the funds shortly. And the last number I saw was over $430,000. And so it'll be in 2 installments, half each, one this year and the other next year about this time. And they're backing off the date a little bit, Don, yet again, as you suspected. So we are having 2 listening sessions because we want to hear from folks how they would like the select board to use the money coming to the town. One session is on Tuesday, June 29th at 6 p.m. It'll be here, or you can Zoom in, and information will be on our town webpage. The other session is Tuesday, July 20th at 5 p.m. also here, or you can Zoom in. There is a link on, let's see, the word is going out on the town's Facebook page as well. There is a link if you're curious, anybody wants more information. League of Cities and Towns has a resource page on this, and it's good information, including a link to all of the Code of Federal Regulations. I think it's like 35 pages long, which will govern what we can and can't do with the money. So we're inviting folks to come in. All right, that's all I had. Dawn, what else do you have?
Do you have any information that the scholarship committee would have to deal with in any future time?
Based upon my phone call to you?
Yes.
Okay, we were advised, and I did some checking, we were advised that one high school senior was checking in to see whether we had missed the application. And I didn't see it, you didn't see it. I checked with Bill. He didn't recall ever receiving it. And I checked with Kari in the town office. So for whatever reason, it doesn't look like we received it. Apparently, the young man sent out a bunch of applications at the same time, and not sure what happened to ours, but I think it would have surfaced among a couple of offices now. So, I suppose if it shows up, we'll deal with it. But we, made our best efforts to look around the town offices and didn't find it. which is a shame, but
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well, too bad.
Yeah. okay. Anything else, Don?
Nope.
Sharon, anything that you'd like to bring up tonight?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. I think we're all set then. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Don't move.
Motion's made and
Second.
seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. The motion is passed. We're adjourning at 7:00 PM. Thank you all for coming.